Not my best performance. End of the day, red $304. But let's jump into the trades. So Apple, pretty much straight from the game plan. Below pre-market low for a move to key level 168.49 monthly key level, potentially key level 168, and then another key level we have weekly key level 167.62. So what I liked here was pretty much how this 5 minute candle closed. So it looked pretty intriguing. So how this 5 minute candle closed below pre-market low, got really intrigued. So around this area, I got really intrigued, but just wanted to wait for some type of confirmation, letting me know to enter. So pretty much we actually pushed higher. We rejected VWAP really, really nicely. I started to like it a lot here. Around this area, I decided to enter. I tried to do a new approach, something I never do, but I tried to average in. Uh, so I want to take a total of 30 contract on this position. So I enter a contract here, um, and then I wanted to enter the remaining pretty much remaining contract when once we got additional confirmation. So this is just to tie in my risk to reward. But this is an approach I never used, but I wanted to try it out today. Here attempted to enter 8 more, but only got filled 1 out of 8. So I was in total of 9 contract, and it just worked out. So I wasn't able to get into my full position. It is what it is. But as I usually do, I exited a couple contract on the break, and then here I just saw it having a pretty hard time below pre-market monthly key level 168, which was my TP1. So and at the time the QQQ was actually breaking daily key level and showing some nice weakness, so I had to exit full position. This was a small winner. I was up maybe like $90, and kind of made me too aggressive. So I honestly, because of this, um, first things first, I kind of came with the mentality like I wanted to make a lot of money today. I was too excited for today because of the opportunity. This was setting up for a playbook trade. I had another playbook trade. I feel like today was an opportunity day. But again, you can't let your bias or anything like that dictate your action. So today I kind of like came with that mentality like I wanted to make a good chunk of money today, but you just need to chill with the opportunity presents itself. You can't come with that expectation. So making me go into pretty much Nvidia, and not only that, but not performing too well. Not the best performance on Nvidia. So this was easily avoidable. I didn't wait for clear confirmation, but this was pretty much the trade for Nvidia. What I like Nvidia was actually below pre-market psychological level 890. But that was actually when I created this game plan, we were holding right below 890. So, but then I switched to pre-market low. So pretty much below pre-market low for move to psychological 880 and potentially this daily key level. So here I started to like it once we actually closed below and we actually were holding below pre-market low. But as you can see, pretty choppy action. Not ideally the price action I like to see when we want to see some quick follow through on the video. So yeah, here I jumped the gun. I definitely jumped the gun. I was paying attention to it, and I saw it clearly holding above 880. So I definitely awful performance on my entry. I should have waited for a break and hold below 880 for a good entry. But what kind of like motivated me to enter was actually this 5 minute candle, how we closed below pre-market low, and how this 1 minute candle closed as well. Not enough a validation to enter the position. So I entered two contract here because again the contract on this are pretty expensive. I thought I was gonna stop out really quick on this first contract, and we actually invalidated my thesis because again we actually made a 5 minute high. I actually got the opportunity to exit because again when I see this type of price action, I know that it doesn't want to work out. We were having it then a very hard time below pre-market low, but I let my emotion on this trade definitely take over. I was thinking way too much about hitting a big winner, and I was not really paying attention to what price action was telling me. Here we actually came below. I had the opportunity to get out for break even, and I knew it like this wasn't looking good, but I became hopeful, and I was actually paying attention to what the price contract was. So hesitated and never exited. I had plenty of time to just exit because again the position wasn't looking that good. I should at least exit one contract like I usually do when setup aren't not looking too good. I try to at least exit some portion of my position and let the other one want to work out. But then got stopped out on this one, so we got to my stop loss, took in the chin. But definitely this trade was easily avoidable. If I just waited for clear confirmation, a break and hold below 880, which I knew it was a big psychological level. And also the risk reward was very shitty. Again, I was thinking way too much about the money on this trade. I wasn't really paying attention too much about the risk reward. Like this was 1 hour. This is so trades I'd never take. I a minimum of 2 hour I like to take. So yeah, not too happy with my performance. And then after this actually triggered my emotion really, really bad. I was very close to taking a third trade, breaking my rules because I only have a rule to take 2 trades max per day. And I wanted to trade this choppy price action. Like, why would I want to do that? This is just recipe for disaster. I was I was very close to taking the third trade, but glad I was able to snap out of it and just call it a day, take the loss in the chin, and tomorrow is going to be another day. So it's not really a big loss. It's something that we could come back from very easy, but in my mind, I was really I wanted to revenge trade. I wanted to make my money back in the sense that's kind of like the train of thought I was having. But let's jump into the live trading, and I knew this kind of like coming in to the to the market. I even say it. So alright, so market's about to open pretty shortly. As always, we're gonna be patient, wait for good opportunity to rise, and most of all gonna follow our rule. So I'm considering it to be Apple to be a playbook trade. So I'm gonna be paying attention to Apple off the open. I will be saying logged out because I feel like a bit an urge, like I want to trade. So I want to make sure that I don't jump the gun right off the open. So I'm gonna take a bigger backseat after the open. Let price action tell me the story, and go from there. So market's about to open in a couple seconds. Let's have a great day. So yes, as you see there, right away I knew I was a little bit too excited coming into the open. So I traded Apple around this area as you saw. So this is where I enter. So I enter a contract. Again, trying a different approach just to get a better risk to reward. So I decided to enter here. I really like how the market was actually breaking pre-market low as well, and as SPY was actually holding below. And then I attempted to enter once we were getting confirmation, especially with the overall QQQ. The overall market was actually selling off. You're gonna see in a second. So here we start selling off. Right here. So it was looking good for a low day break. So here I decided to enter. I attempted to eight more contract, but didn't get filled. Honestly, I should have just canceled and entered market order. Not looking back, hindsight, but this was looking pretty good. Overall market broke pretty much low day, so it was looking pretty good. But then they actually worked out and went pretty much without me getting filled full position. Then I start exiting my position like I usually do on the break. I like to start exiting, and here is where we're having a very hard time. So I just left 2 contract, but on the next candle, I decided to just exit full position around this area right here, just because we were having a very hard time. But definitely, on especially on the last 2 contract, I jumped the gun. I should have been a little bit more patient. Exit a bit prematurely, because this setup was still looking pretty good. Yes, we held above, but it was still looking pretty good, at least for the last 2 contracts. The last 2 contracts, I should have been a little more patient. I actually waited like I usually do once we make a 1-minute high. So that was my first trade. After this trade, I noticed myself being a little bit aggravated. Not crazy, but just being my emotion was a little bit like I was thinking too much about the money. I was doing the calculation in my mind, and I knew I was just up. I don't like to look at my P&L, but I was doing the calculation in my mind, and I knew I was up like maybe at $90, and I really didn't want to end the day small green like yesterday. I wanted to hit a big winner. Again, not the train of thought you want to have while trading. You can't be thinking about the money. You need to think about your process. If you follow your process and the edge is in your favor, you're gonna make money. But I was thinking way too much about making money today. And I took NVIDIA around this area. So this was pretty much the candle. What kind of motivated me more was actually the 5 minute, how we closed below pre-market low. But again, I should have been way more patient and actually waited for a break and hold below 880, as I said. So here is where I enter. I usually like to, so yeah, there I enter. Again, not a very poor entry. Very poor entry. This was more of a hopeful entry. Not the best performance. But yeah, from there I really thought I was gonna get stopped out on the same candle. Because we actually, as you can see, look at that. We were having a very hard time. Every time we got below 880, we just bounced right back up. Like, it was giving me clean sign. If I just been a little bit more patient, actually waited. If I had just waited and actually let price action tell me the story, like I usually do, I would have avoided this trade. But here I really thought I was gonna get stopped out, but we got right below my stop loss. I was right about to exit. But either way, my trade got pretty much invalidated. So that's why I was saying, like, I should have exited once I got the opportunity to exit for pretty much break even, but I didn't. And then from there, I held this trade for much longer than I usually do. So around this area, once I notice again buyers stepping in at 880, I should have just exited. I've seen this play work out a ton of times that once we hold this level like this, we tend to reverse. So I was just being too hopeful on this trade and thinking way too much about the money, as I said. And yeah, I held this trade for way longer than I usually do. I held this trade for, what was it, like 8 minutes. I'm never holding a trade for that long. 8 or 10 minutes, around that area. And then I got stopped out. I think it was on the same candle. No. So right here. So on this candle, I got stopped out. Again, I had a lot of opportunity to just exit for a small loser. But yeah. Right there I knew. I don't look at my P&L, but I knew right away that it was a hefty loser. It was a bit over. Not crazy. So here I actually look at my P&L. So I was down for a 304. This actually, as I said, triggered my emotion. I was about to get into revenge trading. I was very close to getting into revenge trading. Again, I have a rule in place. I only take 2 trades max per day, especially when I'm in this type of mindset. So I'm very happy I was able to catch myself and actually back away. But yeah, that NVIDIA trade was easily avoidable. As I said, if I'd just been a little bit more patient, actually waited for a clear confirmation, a hold of 880, I would have avoided that trade. But it is what it is. It's not a big deal. We're down 304. This is 10%. So that's kind of like my goal per trade. It's actually 10%. This was a little bit higher. This NVIDIA trade. This was actually 12%. But I tried to shoot for under 10% loss per trade. So my max daily loss is actually 550. So that's kind of like my max daily loss. But yeah, not to have my performance today, but it is what it is. This were the trade for April 2nd.